Akuamma is a seed that people have actually been using for centuries to alleviate pain, help with inflammation. It's right alongside that of Kratom. This video I'm going to cover some of the basics about what Akuamma is and the benefits that it holds and how perhaps it could compare to Kratom and how you can implement it into your life of alternative medicine. They usually come in powdered form, but they are seeds. I made the mistake in buying the actual Akuamma seeds, and they were huge. They're not seeds like you can just pop back in your mouth and chew like a sunflower seed. This is like a legit hard to grind up seed. So it's better to just buy the powder. Now, they are commonly known to help control pain, relieve some of the discomfort that pain causes, like it relaxes your muscles. It works with the same opioid receptors that Kratom does. But there are so many other benefits as well with Akuamma. The seeds contain various types of alkaloids, which include akuammine and pericine. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing those wrong. Akuamma seeds are like natural muscle relaxers and anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antidiarrheal. If you're already a fan of Kratom, I think this is one way that you don't have to rely solely on Kratom, which it's not really good to rely solely on anything. So I love finding other holistic or alternative medicine that you can use with other things, so you're not just dependent on one thing. Mother Nature provides so much for us, even opium, and it's served its purpose throughout the centuries before medicine came into play, man-made. But you know what? Having the natural thing is the best, but anything can become bad. People have a tendency to get addicted to things. Take coffee, for example, energy drinks, cigarettes and alcohol, all these things that are happily legal and when you're of age. So it's foolish and hypocritical if you would be against these natural alternatives, if you are pro all these things that actually kill millions a year and cause a lot of side effects that are pretty detrimental. According to people on Reddit, I love to read Reddit and their research, it helps alleviate pain that's caused by lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, migraine, and it's an alternative to opiates. And it's also better because it doesn't cause withdrawal symptoms. Kratom can sometimes cause some withdrawal symptoms, just like you would with sugar. If you were to detox from sugar, you would have withdrawal symptoms. But when you stop taking Akuamma, there's pretty much none that exist. It's not as strong as Kratom, so that would probably play into why it wouldn't really give you obvious withdrawal symptoms, other than your pain returning and all of that obvious given. People say 2 seeds pretty much is all they need to help alleviate one of the symptoms that I mentioned that it helps and to alleviate. So a little goes a long way, which is great. And it really does target people that actually live with pain and ailments that cause physical discomfort. People in Ghana actually call it picap, and it is a natural painkiller, and they use it for sore muscles. And it's great for people who are very physically active, like triathlons and people who work out, bodybuilders. It's just a great natural alternative to relieving those sore muscles and the inflammation and pain. But I would say the best part about Akuamma seeds that kind of stands out is how it kicks in pretty quickly versus Kratom and other things. The effects have been known to kick in within a couple minutes or so, but it really does depend on your weight and your unique anatomy. So not everything is going to be the same for everybody. But the consumers claim that the effects are not as strong as Kratom, like I said. So I'm not alone with thinking that. It is well known that it is not as strong as Kratom, but it is a great alternative and something that you could take right along Kratom so you don't end up taking too much Kratom. For me, I actually take a little Kratom and a little Akuamma powder, and I combine it for really bad pain days for me and my chronic illness. So that way I'm not having to take a lot of Kratom and nothing else. I can combine 2 great, effective, natural alternatives to help alleviate some of the daily things that I have to live with. It's also similar with Kratom as the amount you take. A little is more, gives you more of a boost, and it does help slightly with depression, though that's not as common as a benefit as those that claim that it helps alleviate pain. But there are some that say it does help with mood, and that means it's a little bit of a consumption of it would help with the mood and simple pains and aches and pains. But if you take a little bit more, like 1 to 2 grams, it would boost your mentality, and it would just give you this nice motivated feeling of if you lacked energy, you wouldn't anymore at that point. Kratom sometimes faces criticism, just simply because of lack of knowledge on it and people not watching my videos. And its legal status is always in question. We're always needing to fight it because it's the same like marijuana. We're almost there. Marijuana is ahead of us in the race. Kratom is right behind it, and we hope that this will be right alongside eventually. But Akuamma seeds are 100% legal to use, and there is no risk of that being banned because it simply doesn't have the same exact effect as Kratom does. Again, it's not as strong, but for the benefits that it does deliver is huge for those who actually need that. Akuamma seeds are cheaper than Kratom. Another big perk. Kratom is just getting more pricey and more pricey the more people are wanting to start selling something they probably know very little about. They just see an opportunity to make money. Akuamma seeds are mild and safer. So comparing it all to Kratom, there are some great similarities and then some great differences. But I would personally recommend taking that right alongside Kratom so you're not solely dependent on one thing, because that's never good. It's like you don't just take one vitamin. If you're really pursuing healthiness and supplements, you take a lot of different ones because each one does something different and unique and special. Same with natural alternatives and alternative medicine. There is a natural option from Mother Nature for certain things. And honestly, Akuamma seeds are great for the pain. And Kratom is great for the mood and anxiety and pain. So combine that, it's like a perfect combination. Just like doctors will say, if you combine a little bit of Tylenol and ibuprofen, that's the equivalent of Vicodin. And your pain will be taken away just as good as it was if you were taking a Vicodin pill, minus the mental woohoo. So that's huge as well. That's an example of Mother Nature doing the same thing, but with natural alternatives.